Evening all, and welcome back to Kerbalism. Now, last time out, Jeb and Bob were preparing to do a low pass of the moon to try and get all the wonderful science, so let's just pick up where we left off. Okie dokie. Hopefully that won't be bothering us with lots and lots of warnings anymore. So let's go down to the South Pole and see whether X-Science pops up with anything to do. Because I'm really hoping so. It still says in space high. Aha! There we go. Under 50, 55, so I'm well close down there. But that is absolutely fine. Look at this. All this information we can get. Fantastical stuff. And we can do another spacewalk. Get an EVA report. Reset these. Reboard. And let's see, we're in space over the Midlands. Do we get any? I think when we go, say, over the poles? Nope, it's just in space near the moon by the looks of it. So the actual biome readings only count when you're on the surface. Okay, that's not a problem at all. That's quite good. That means I don't have to worry about trying to get lower. In a lower orbit completely for that. So, okay. So, now we need to return. And to do that, we need to fire out that way. That's the way the moon's coming. And you fire out the back of its orbit, and it slows you down to get closer to the planet. So, we'll go around to about level on its orbit, I think. So, center that and level its orbit up when this is about there. Which is just about a minute ago. Okay, and now we just fire the engines and hopefully I'm going to go up over there. But we're going to leave from here. There we go. Okay. There we go. Right. And if I continue to fire the engines here, our periapsis will come down. So I do remember some things about how to play this game. I'm not completely forgetting anything and not seeing stuff that's been around ages and ages. And of course we have lots of Delta V left on this craft. It was not over-engineered. I think it was engineered pretty well, actually. Although I did actually think to start with we wouldn't make it. But we did. We're here. Okay. I think we're going to get to the point soon where... Yeah, there we go. We've got to the point where we can't really do anything more. That number is not coming down very quickly at all anymore. Although it is still coming down, so I'll carry on with that. But it does get to a point where eventually your perhaps will start going up again. See that there? It's now going up, even though we are pointing the same way we were. So that is the closest we can get to Kerbin from leaving the moon. So, where is... Sun is above us, so that's fine. If I accelerate time and point as retrograde, we can have a wonderful little moonrise flyby going on there. And now we have left the moon's sphere of influence, we can look at trying to slow down to actually get back to Kerbin. The wrong button. That one there is what I want to do. Okay, and stop. So we can point ourselves retrograde, and even though we're not at our apoaps, we are at a good enough point to try and bring down our periaps, I think. Yeah, that's still going to work perfectly well. Okay, that is actually touching the atmosphere. I'm going to bring it down to 60, I think. Yep, like that. And then, same as last time, as soon as we're actually in the atmosphere, we touch the atmosphere, I will fire the engine full whack, use up all the rest of our fuel, and then hopefully we'll have slowed down enough to not explode. Although, last time we did explode, but I'll make sure to use the fuel before that, because we might as well. So we're almost ready to enter the atmosphere. We have another wonderful eclipse there. Look at that. This game can be really beautiful at times. Really, really beautiful. And yes, we are in the atmosphere. So let's fire the engine. Makes sense. Set it to surface mode. And rotate around just so it makes sense in my brain. The little Terrier doesn't have an alternator, so it will not recharge any batteries. So we're just losing electric charge all the time now. Okay, I'll use up everything we've got. And we are not... Cool. Okay. I'm not going to detach the bottom plate here because this top does not have any electric capability, so our Kerbals would freeze or burn or something to death, I don't know. So yeah, I think we shall just tumble around for a bit. This is obviously aerodynamically stable forward rather than backwards, but tumbling's fine. That slows us down in orbit. Sorry, that gives us extra drag. I don't really know what I'm saying there. It won't slow us down in orbit. Tumbling around obviously means that you get more drag on the craft, because if it was pointing forward it'd be aerodynamically better than if it's pointing sideways. So yeah, tumbling around basically just means you get more drag and it will slow you down more. However, this is going to take a bit of time. This is going to be quite a number of passes before I think I'm going to get properly caught in the atmosphere. So I will go round and round and round until we are finally caught, and then we should come back and hopefully you can see a wonderful landing and not explosions and Kerbal fireworks in the sky. So we have tumbled through the atmosphere a lot, a real lot, to the fact where I've actually got warnings about low food going on here. Yeah, we have an hour worth of food left, so yeah, things are getting a little bit worrying, but I do believe we are going to be caught this orbit. I think that's going to be right. I don't think we're going to manage to pull out before that pops out, so we will be caught and we'll start descending back down again. By the looks of things, we might even end up coming down here somewhere. I think. I am of course accelerating time as fast as it will go. We might actually pop out of the atmosphere again. But that's not a problem because we are basically now caught. Next time around we'll definitely burn off that 1 kilometre, so it'll be fine. These components do get awfully hot. I did think the material bay was going to explode the last time round because it got really, really hot, but it didn't, luckily. So I think what I'm going to do, yeah, we're going to come out of the atmosphere here, is I will get us pointing towards the sun again to charge the batteries fully, and once they're charged and we dip back into the atmosphere again, I will ditch that backstage here. Actually, oh, excuse me, I can do that now if I do that and turn off the SS. Hopefully we can charge up the solar panels a bit. Sorry, charge up the batteries a bit. They're not that dead anyway, but just hoping we'll be okay. Let's just fast forward time a little bit here. Anyway, batteries are full and we are back in orbit. I will point at retrograde and we'll ditch that back part. And hopefully, let's have a look here at time. We've got an hour worth of batteries. That's with the SES turned on. I could probably turn that off and we'll still be okay for dropping through the atmosphere, because this should be the heavy part. There is no heat shield on this, but we are coming in pretty slowly because I've obviously dropped our orbit down a lot. So let's descend through the atmosphere and see what happens. And touchdown! We are back on Kerbin. Awesome. Welcome home, Jeb and Bob. Come back to the KSC and tell us what the moon was all about. So yes, they obviously brought lots and lots of science back. 226.8 science, throws up to 308. Excellent. We did gain some money for that. Oh yes, of course, because we did have a contract to transmit or recover scientific data from the moon. Awesome. Right, and Jeb and Bob gained 3 experience each, which is excellent. So let's have a look see here. 2, 9, 18, 27, 36, 45. We need 540 to unlock every node, so that's not going to happen. Recycling. The chemical plant isn't something we need right now. Docking ports, I don't think is something we need right now either. Bigger landing legs would be helpful, so let's unlock that one. Plane parts I'm not interested in. Really tempted with these ones here, and put a very early makeshift station in orbit. No, I think we'll go with fuel the engines. That little engine would be really useful for some of the satellites I'm using, so yeah. Okay, so we've got one more left. You know what, yeah, let's do it. Let's go with this one here, and I think I might have a small play with these augers just to find out exactly how they work. I assume they're like drills, they just dig into the ground and produce ore, perhaps? No, produces metal. That's interesting. I need to have a read as to how this mod works. The I forgot the name of it. Planetary launch pads. Extra planetary launch pads. I need to have a read how it works, because it's obviously producing metal ore rather than just ore, which is going to be very interesting because everything Kerbalism does with the chemical plants works on mining water or ore. So that's going to be interesting. Yeah, I think we'll unlock that and we'll have a small play with that and see exactly what's going on with it. I suppose I should unlock some more of these bits and pieces here. I might as well get that one part there. Plane parts I'm not interested in at all. We'll get the rest of those, and that's all containers and bits and pieces. Yeah, let's get those. Why not? Because that could be useful. I have unlocked 2 of these engines already. I think we'll get the rest of those and those engines. I'm not all that fussed about these tanks. I think that's because I have procedural tanks installed. It's allowing me to get away with stuff that's not unlocked, which is a little bit cheaty but not really terrible. So yeah, we'll purchase them as well. So that makes that better. Obviously we need to purchase lots of things in here in order to get stuff going. Yeah, this includes fairings as well. That's interesting. That could be very useful. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. Go on, we'll unlock that. You know what? I'm going to go through and I'm going to buy the lot. Let's just buy everything we've got. You, and that's it. Okay. I'm not bothering with plane parts at the moment. I do want to go around and land in certain places, so I will do this at some point, but right now I'm not interested in planes, so I'm going to leave that. What I am going to do between this episode, or well, before I say that, what I am going to do, however, is I'm going to run some more missions to ferry VIPs and tourists, and I've just noticed we have our very first rescue mission. Stranded in orbit around the moon. Now that's interesting. That's very, very interesting. And Kerbal Rescue Program is go! Valentina is flying the Moon Flyby 2, a variant on the first one, a heavy variant in fact. It's got these giant solid rocket boosters on the side. I was looking at the numbers and basically they work better. They are a lot heavier, but they give so much more whack for their power. They're just, having 2 of them is better than having 4 of the boosters I was using before. So, yep, that's what we're going to go with for a minute. Obviously, it doesn't have any of the science or anything else like with it. It is just literally Valentina on her own, going to the moon to pick up the stranded Kerbal, whose name escapes me. But yes, we shall go and rescue that Kerbal and hopefully bring them back safely. And Valentina has successfully made it up to orbit. We are... Oh, actually, we have got to orbit and are just about to see the moon rise. Where are you, moon? There you are. Okay. That means we can just fire the engine and go straight to the moon. This time we did actually target the moon, so things might make a little bit more sense on doing things, and we are much more equatorial, which is good. It was getting a little out of hand last time. Okay, here we go. Let's hit an encounter with the moon. Can I focus? Yes, I can. Awesome. Right. You are travelling the correct way around. That's excellent. So if I do that, we are. We're completely off axis with them, but that doesn't particularly matter. That can be fixed as we travel out. And yeah, hopefully we won't have any major issues, and things can go smooth as clockwork. But what really are the chances of that actually happening? Okay, so we're here at the moon, and I've just realised I've done a bit of recording without actually pushing the record button, so I do apologise for that. But yes, we have arrived at the moon, we have orbited, and I've put myself in kind of the right inclination, so hopefully we'll get an encounter. But we're currently going through an eclipse, which is a big problem. Obviously, it means we're going to run out of what's the word? Electricity. That's the word. We're going to run out of electricity, which is a problem. But I'm hoping we will leave the moon. There we are. There we are. Awesome. Right. So I can once again turn on the SAS. This thing is really unwieldy. It's got a lot of weight, even though the fuel is pretty much empty. So yeah, it's very unwieldy to sort of operate. But let's point inwards to try and get my solar panels on the sun again. There we go. That'll do. Okay, and I've been going around basically waiting to get an encounter with your capture. Who are you? Genlan. Genlan. I don't know whether that's male or female. It sounds female, but well, I wouldn't want to assume. So yeah, Right, so let's get round to our interstage here. Slow ourselves down a bit and see whether I can get some form of encounter. I am not quite crossing orbits, we are still a little bit out and a little bit low, but they are close. I'm thinking if I can try and push my periapsis around a little bit, maybe. Ah, there we go. Right. So, that's not helping at all. No, that's not helping at all. That's actually pushing us further away. So, I need to go out another orbit. I also need to get my inclination perfect because it's a bit messed up at the moment. Let's push that out so my periapsis is about right with it, I think. Really not sure what to do here. Let's go around to the descending node again. We're going to be cut off from Kerbin again in just a moment, but I think I want to. Okay, we are 0.8 away, so I want to fire south. I think it is. Hold on. These symbols, a few episodes ago, I was trying to remember what these symbols were called. They are called normals. Anti-normal and normal. Anti-normal is south, normal is north. Don't know how I managed to forget that, but I did. And if your node is, your ascending node is in the minuses, you have to fire normal, and if it's in the plus, you have to fire anti-normal. So there we go. That puts us at 0, 0. Awesome. Right. So let's go round to our next one because that's the closest one I can think of. And we want to place prograde this time round. What I want to do is basically fire up and get our apoapsis out away, but I want to keep the periapsis and the apoapsis with the target roughly level, because that will just help, because it's not a circular orbit, it is elliptical. Okay, so our closest encounter at the moment is going to be, there are lots of numbers there. Where's our encounter? 309 kilometers. And nope, it's going up. Okay, right. So I'll go around to here, and what I want to do is get rid of all those blips and blobs and places that I pushed there. There we go. We've just got the insect, but I want to bring our periapsis down to the target's one, which is 49,109. So fire very, very gently. That's lower than it actually is, but you know what? That's fine. That's okay. We're now getting 2 encounters with the target, which means I can try and figure out what's going to happen. Aha! Now, out of juice. Why are we out of juice? Probably because my solar panels were not facing the target once, and not facing the sun once again. Let's correct that. Yep. And forward time round again, and I'm going to keep going round until I get some form of decent encounter. Okay, we have managed to get a 100-meter encounter. That's the word I'm after there. Trying to do tiny maneuvers with an engine this size is interesting. I've had to drop it down to 2% thrust because otherwise even just the tiniest tap on the keyboard would make it far off all the way. So yeah, that's fun. Okay, so I want to go target, but I'm not fussed about doing it right now. Let's go around to here. We found the Kerbal. I've forgotten her name again, or his name again. Genlan, we have found you. There is no more electric charge. Okay, that's a problem. That's a problem, but don't worry. Don't worry. It'll be okay for a little tiny bit. Whilst we fire our engine. Try and slow ourselves down relative to our target. There we go. Okay, I can now switch over to this craft. It's the orbital capsule. How interesting. Okay. Apparently her food and whatnot supplies are all good. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, yes, she is human and obviously is a pilot. That's helpful. So let's EVA over. Oh, out you get. Out you get. You do have monopropellant. I didn't check that. That could have been terrible. I'm not sure how you'd ever manage to actually. I'm really not sure how you managed to get a Kerbal if it didn't have monopropellant. You have to have some claw thing or something, or a hanger bay to grab them. Wow, that would be an interesting way of doing things. But yeah, they'll come over. Yes, we cannot remove the headpiece. That's fine. We know. The X key, which slows down time, also removes helmets. So yeah. Okay, bear with us just a moment whilst Valentina rotates the craft to make life easier for you. There we go. I know there are ways to make Kerbals turn around. You can change the camera settings, but might as well just grab the craft and there we go. Okay, so that's about it for this mission. We have successfully grabbed target. Well, obviously that's not it for the mission. We've got a lot left to do. Most importantly, we have to get home. So let's accelerate time around to about level with our level with the moon's orbit. I think good thing to do. Want to point prograde, and I might as well turn the thrust back up on this engine. It's only got like half a second worth of fuel left on it, so not even remotely worried about that. There we go. But again, that is more space junk that I am now putting in orbit. Right up. There we go. There we go. And I've got to be really careful with that because, as I said before, I'm not getting rid of any of it. It's all going to stay up there. And if it starts getting in the way and becoming a problem, I'm going to have to build a craft to go and clear it up. That's sort of the idea. And by a problem, I mean not really worried about crashing into them. We're not going to get to that sort of stage anytime soon, I don't think, to be honest with you. I appear to have gotten this wrong. Yeah, I should have gone further along before I fired off. Oh well. Oh well. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be worried about crashing into things. That's a possibility, but unlikely. But more thinking of when it starts affecting the game. Which it will do. Having so many objects will eventually affect the game. That's how it works. And that will be my cue to build something to go and gather it all and maybe do something exciting with it. I don't particularly know what. More than likely turn it into new spaceships. Which are cool, the possibilities are endless. So, I am burning off here and trying to get myself just touching the atmosphere again. In fact, we're going to go a little bit deeper. I think we're going to go to about 50. That might work. But of course, we are going to have to do re-entry in the next episode. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. Hope to see you again in the next one. And until then, as always, have fun.